Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
We're doing pretty good.
All right, so we
Thanks
got
for having us.
no problem. We got the dudes from the 3-Man Weave on right now. They're a sports podcast. We follow them on Instagram. They have awesome content, a lot of educated opinions. They know their stuff. So, guys, introduce yourselves to our audience. Let everyone know who you guys are, what you guys are about, where you're from.
Well, first of all, we want to send a special thank you to JDF for having us on. You got your favorite guys from the 3-Man Weave podcast. First up, you got me, your guy Cannon.
You already know it's your boy Hill. He'll go Hill regardless, baby. Let's get it.
And it's me, man, AJ El Presidente. Let's have some fun, man.
Ooh, I love it.
I love the energy coming off.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So what do you guys? So tell us a little bit about your podcast. Kind of, where you guys came from, how you guys started it.
What a podcast, our main thing with our podcast is that we're trying to change the narrative from the everyday noise that you get or the everyday chatter that you get from the mainstream media. We like to touch the back end and deep in the crevices of the topics.
We get real freaky like that.
I love it. I love it. You guys get up in there, not afraid for it. All right, I vibe with that. So now you guys, are you all from the same town? You guys know each other? You grow up longtime friends or?
Well, we all went to school together, Virginia State University, and that's how we met and linked up from there.
Word.
Yeah.
Like blue.
And so right now we pretty much Hill and I, we broadcast from the Washington D.C. area. That's where we're repping out of, and AJ, he's currently repping
right now. I'm in Chicago right now, but we usually recording out of Tampa, Florida. So I had to go to the sunshine.
I got you. All right, so now I want to talk some sports with you guys. We just had a big NBA night last night. The NBA lottery. Pelicans get the number 1 pick. Knicks fall to 3. The Grizzlies and Lakers surprise. Phoenix Suns, Chicago Bulls, they get a little screwed. What's your guys' takes on everything that happened last night?
So, all right, listen. Before we even start any of this is rigged. How the Lakers have a 1% chance, 1%, and they get into the top 5? Come on, man. You can't tell me this. The whole storyline, they trying to build all these teams up. They want to get LeBron, whoever he need to get, because they about to send whoever they got to down to New Orleans. New Orleans, look, they say, hey, you about to lose your best player, so we going to get you somebody else.
Now, here's my question.
Phoenix?
I want to know, how does
Nobody like Phoenix, man.
How does LeBron James go from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the LA Lakers, and then the LA Lakers get the higher pick than the Cleveland Cavaliers do? That doesn't make sense to me at all. This whole thing is rigged.
That screams rigged. And I've been telling people all year, Fitz, I've been saying, like, all these New York Knicks fans been coming at me. That's not Fitz?
No, this is Fitz.
That was Fitz.
That's Fitz.
Oh, it's Fitz. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Like I was saying, Fitz, I've been telling people all year, these Knicks fans, they've been on my timeline. They've been coming at me talking about we're guaranteed to get the number 1 pick. And I've been telling them, like, listen, the NBA draft lottery is rigged. And the fact that they don't even show the bouncing balls, all they do is show us envelopes, that screams rigged to me. So it's like they're going to put it wherever they want. And like you said, the fact that LeBron left the Cavs, come to the Lakers, and end up with a better pick, that's insane.
And you have teams like Chicago and Cleveland who, looking at the NBA, those are teams that need that superstar, to keep those small markets. Yeah. So then they're looking at it like, okay, well, now we want Anthony Davis to stay in New Orleans. We don't want to lose that market. I mean, we all just saw what just happened with the Saints.
Yeah.
They still won't quiet up about what happened against the Rams game. They're passionate fans. They want to bring that out in a basketball format. The NBA wants to reach NOLA. So, hey, this is what we're going to do for you guys. We're going to give you Zion Williamson. And now everyone's in an uproar because not only does Zion, I mean, it appeared to me last night he doesn't want to play for him and RJ. They're laughing together. His interview, he even came out and said, "I was hoping that the New York Knicks would get the number 1 pick and I could be a Knick." And now there's rumors, which I don't think that he would be stupid enough to do this. And I want your guys' take on it. He's out there saying that he hasn't signed an agent. If he wanted to go back to Duke, he could. We all know what happened. He blew out his shoe. He could have injured himself. This was the face of college basketball last year.
Yep.
And with everything that goes on in the NCAA with them not playing their players, I think it would be real dumb for him to go back. I don't think he does it. But now we're in a situation, my producer, intern Kearns, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Now you're in a situation where, like, you have a guy that doesn't, like, he's basically publicly coming out and saying, I don't want to play for the Pelicans. And they're like, oh, well, shit. And then Anthony Davis already said, hey, regardless of what happens, I want out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it like this. He's not. He may say that he doesn't want to, go play for New Orleans or whatever. That's maybe just be a bargaining chip that he's trying to use to get out of it and pull a Archie Manning and get out of New Orleans.
Yep.
But it's not gonna happen, dog. Because at the end of the day, they own your rights. You think you can go back to school? Yeah. When Nike's trying to throw that bag at you, when you gonna get this contract, you're not going back to school to live in no dorm room and, eat in the calf. No, sir. It ain't going to happen. Yeah. Especially when you from the middle of nowhere, South Carolina. Dog, go get your money. It don't matter.
Right. If I'm Coach K, too, and I see Zion
go
walk
somewhere
back
else.
in there. If I'm Coach K and I see Zion walk back in, I'm like, hey, turn around and go back out. What the hell are you doing back here? Get the fuck out of here. Go get some money in the NBA. Like, what are you doing back here?
It's what everyone wants, but... So now he doesn't go to the Knicks, and it's kind of, when you think about it, it's bad for the NBA because the Knicks are a massive, massive basketball market. I mean, history.
Let me jump in there real quick. The NBA, you know how people always say the NBA is better when the Knicks are good?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the Knicks are good or bad because you know what? They fans are always going to have the hope that they will be good.
Always.
So their fans aren't going nowhere. So, yeah, keep the Knicks bad, get everybody else good, and you still got your same big market.
And at the end of the day, fuck James Dolan because, I mean,
owner
literally the worst owner in sports.
Yes.
And that's what happened last night.
That's really what happened.
That's
exactly
the bigger story. If
karma
changed the narrative,
karma for James Dolan.
Karma
for Knicks fans booing the last 20,000 picks they've had because all they do is they get a pick and they boo.
But they still got a top 3 pick, so they are still in good shape.
I don't know why they're mad because you still get R.J. Barrett or Ja Morant unless they pick up Boban something from Slovakia,
which they're known to do.
Which they're known to do.
They've known to do that. Yeah, and I don't understand. Okay, you're not getting Zion Williamson. That it sucks, but you're still gonna get a good. They were upset when they didn't get Kristaps, and Kristaps was arguably the best player in that draft. When they came out and they all played, when everyone played and we saw he was rookie of the year, right? Kristaps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he won rookie of the year, and everyone that's my whole thing about the New York Knicks, and I've been saying this on our show for a while now, their fan base is absolute trash, garbage, because they boo guys like Kristaps, and then months later they look like idiots wearing unicorn T-shirts and praising the guy.
Yeah, that is very true.
And then they do the same thing with Kevin Knox, and he wasn't a bad player last year, and they booed him when he got drafted.
I'm not understanding. I think R.J. Barrett is going to be a good NBA player.
I think he's going to be great.
His game is way suited for the NBA. That college compressed style is not for him. He needs space, and once you get space in the NBA, he's going to show his skills, and because he can score, he can go get a bucket. He's going to be. He may not be box office like Zion, but he's going to go get you a bucket, and that's what you need.
At the end of the day, you win game with points on the board. So back to what you were saying, Fitz, about Knox. I was disgusted because I followed Knox closely in high school and college, and I knew that he was an excellent ball player. And so I'm telling Knicks fans, I'm like, listen, y'all got a great baller, and they was like, yo, he's trash.
They wanted Michael Porter.
And now, now they're like, if we can just get Zion and add him with Knox, they was all excited for it. It's like, oh, now you happy that you got Knox now. At first, you didn't even want him.
Right.
And they do that all the time. Like you said, they switch sides. They're fence jumpers. And they do that a lot in New York, just not with the Knicks.
And you're
not New York
right
teams.
there. Knox was, it's not like for Porzingis, it's kind of understandable because with European players, you never really know what you're going to get because the play style is so much different when they come over from Europe. But Knox was always, he was a highly talented guy.
Bender.
Exactly. Dragon Bender.
Dragon Bender's a perfect example. But Knox was Knox played really well in school. He was always a high-end athlete. So to boo a guy like Knox makes zero sense in my mind.
And I don't know why Knicks fans are acting like they don't have Dennis Smith Jr., who was in my opinion, when I looked at that draft a couple years ago, I thought Dennis Smith Jr. should have been a lottery pick. The way that kid played. Yeah, exactly. And then they get him. That's some young talent to build around. So even if you go out and do get R.J. Barrett, you have R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., that's a solid 3-core right there.
And you might get a free agent.
Yeah.
That want to come there for some odd reason.
But you know what? Dennis Smith could be the reason why they didn't get Zion last night because he came in the last year trying to win games, and they were tanking.
And they still was trash.
They were still trash.
They were like, DSK, you need to chill out.
He didn't ruin the tank.
One or two wins.
He didn't get a tank memo, but
he might have tried, but he didn't ruin it.
He said, "I'm gonna get mines."
They're like, "Okay, cool. We still gonna tank coming."
I'm gonna get these buckets though.
They got a great core though. They got a good core. You know, they're picking number 3. They shouldn't even be salty.
They shouldn't even be salty. So I know we have a Lakers fan on the other side over there. I want to hear your take about number 4. There's reports coming out that's saying that they want to move the number 4 pick potentially for a superstar. See if they can go get someone. What's your take on the whole Lakers situation right now?
That 4th pick is gold. And you gotta go. You gotta move it. You gotta get rid of it. You gotta get whoever. Gotta go try to get AD. You gotta go try to get Bradley Beal. You gotta go try to get somebody.
Yep, Bradley Beal.
The Wizards need it. I mean,
if
you could move John Wall, it could be he probably won't play next year because he's hurt. I would move John Wall over Beal because I loved what I saw from Beal right now. But I agree. I think Bradley Beal would be a great addition with LeBron James out there.
But we'll be doing the Wizards a favor if we gave you the 4th pick. Yeah. Take Beal. We give you a player. You get this money off your books. You're freeing it up. And you got 2 picks in the top 10.
Yeah, the Wizards are not doing anything for the next at least 4 years. They have no one to really rebuild around. They got Wall, who's injured but aging. They got Dwight Howard over there. Yeah, all right. Good luck, Washington.
And if you give Wall makes that 4th pick, they're gonna draft me.
Wall is just too much money off the books. I understand he had to get paid, and he lucked up in getting paid at the right time. But man, they are handcuffed to him because nobody. I'm not trading for that max deal.
When is he gonna play again?
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Not never. I'll just be sitting there, cha-ching.
What they should do, give up Bill. Then you're gonna be trash again.
Yeah.
And let's go.
Yeah.
And go for the draft again. You give up Bill. You got the 4th pick. You got the 9th pick. Yeah. And then next year you're gonna be trash again. You're gonna be top 5 again.
I honestly would like to see
a rebuild. And those are just years closer till you can possibly just get Wall off of your book. So just keep being trash, accumulate these picks. You see what Danny Ainge did in Boston. He just hoarded all those top picks that he possibly could. Yeah. And then, now he has a plethora of assets to either move or to actually build with. And then, I don't know why a lot more free agents don't come to DC because living in DC
is great.
It's a good place. It's a great place to be.
Never going back home.
So look, it's an opportunity for them to actually really grow. You've seen what, like I said, you might mess around and be like the 76ers. You go through a couple bad years, and now you've accumulated some talent, and you've hit on some talent. You may not hit on all of it, but you putting your name in the hat to get some good players.
Yeah, but more importantly, we spent way too long on the Wizards. It was the Lakers.
Way too long.
Way too long on the Wizards.
Way too long on the Wizards. Lakers need somebody. He needs somebody.
We got a couple of comments here. AD. Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice. And I think the Pelicans situation right now, like if you sit down, you're like, Anthony, we could go and get Zion Williamson right now and pair you with him. We could go and spend a little bit of money. Julius Randle's nice. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Jahlil Okafor stepped in nice.
I like Julius Randle.
I love Julius Randle.
Yeah.
I think that the Pelicans could be in an interesting situation. Or you say, okay, you don't want to stay. You call up the Knicks. You want Anthony Davis, give us number 3. Nope. Okay, hang up. Call the Lakers at 4. You want Anthony Davis, give us number 4. And you're still getting 2 top 5 players that you can just build and just, like you said with the 76ers, just watch them grow. But instead of doing it over 2 years, you can get it done in 1 year. Real quick, we have some comments here. Brendan Walker said, been trying to tell people Lakers need Beal. He's so slept on. And then he also wanted to add, Wall's contract is horrendous. Absolutely no one will take his deal on their books. Yeah. It's the same thing with the Celtics and Gordon Hayward.
Oh, yeah. That was,
it was unfortunate.
But it was just unfortunate with the injury. I feel like it could have paid off before everything happened. It could have.
Yep.
We just never got to see it happen.
I think that was Brad Stevens' fault, though, because personally what happened is when he came back this year, Brad Stevens is trying to just throw him back in there. At the end of the day, if you actually want to do what you have to do, keep that core that you have that actually got you there and you were successful with, and ease him in slowly because he was not a fit at all. You were trying to make him be a fit. No, you're gonna have to do what you got to do, and you can figure out Gordon Hayward later.
Yeah,
it's Gordon Hayward.
He was the key problem, but they wanted to keep continuously blaming Kyrie. But the chemistry killer was Gordon Hayward, and it was clear as day because just look at Tatum.
Yeah.
Justin, why are you looking at me like that right now?
Because I've been saying that shit all year. You don't want to listen to me. No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we've talked about it before. Gordon should not have come back that quickly. They should have got everyone else into their own routine and then try to work Gordon back in instead of trying to work everything else back in at the same time. But I don't know. It is what it is. Nothing you can do about it now, but that's just my take on that.
All right, and right before we move on to the NBA Conference Finals right now, I know we got a Phoenix Suns fan in the house. I want to hear about your thoughts. Number 6, the Suns got screwed big time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. So
He was from the 6.
honestly, it don't matter. It don't really matter. We still gonna beat some ass. But I would say with this pick, you either move it and pair it with T.J. Warren or Josh Jackson to try and get a veteran point guard or if you can't, just draft Darius Garland and just hope he can do something and get Devin Booker back off the ball and just do something. So I just need to get Devin Booker off the ball because I feel next season Devin Booker, even though it's a crowded West, he's playing like an all-star. So I think he's gonna play at an all-star level. DeAndre Ayton, he averaged a double-double. I think that he's actually going to take another step. He showed some of those weaknesses that they thought was going to come in on the defensive side when he was coming out the draft. He actually showed he has the ability, so it's only going to get better. We got us a coach. Igor is the hell up out of there.
Yep.
Finally. We got us a GM, James Jones.
I love that.
He got McDonough the hell up out of there. All we need to do is Sarver. He sell the team. I'm thinking we're gonna be back, but I don't know. I don't know many millionaires that's gonna sell their team. So, yeah, we probably gonna be like the 11th seed.
Yeah, just move up, improve. 12, 11.
Small
We're
climbs.
gonna be the 11th seed.
Small climbs. That's what it's about. A couple of comments. My co-host Odie said Laker gang number 4. I think he wants to keep the pick, but I think the Lakers.
That'd be a bad move, bro.
Yeah, I think the situation right now is for them to trade that away. My boy Rob Fox said Cat Daddy Crumb Cake in the building. What's up, fellas? And Sean said J. Rue Holiday, or as everyone else calls him, Drew Holiday, for the Suns with the 6th overall pick. What about Conley? What about Mike Conley? And then the Grizzlies draft Ja too.
You want your point guard, AJ? That's right there.
See, that's the thing. I want a point guard, but it's like
that's tough for me.
Conley, he's been having these injuries. It's just like I feel like we're gonna get Conley, yes, but it's a short-term fix.
Exactly, and he's old.
We're not trying to just get one piece to send us to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're trying to get something that we can build with these 20 and under players that we got. Yeah. So you bring in Conley? He like 31.
Yeah,
he's getting up there.
You need a veteran to help lead the team, but you don't want the veteran to be that key guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like if we get a veteran point guard, I want the veteran point guard to come in and maybe he start off the season as a starter, or he even just goes all of next year as a starter. But we have that young point guard who can come in, learn from him, learn how to facilitate, learn how to run the offense, and learn his leadership.
Yeah, you guys can have Terry from the Celtics if you want. We're kind of getting sick of him over here.
I pray he goes there.
Scary Terry, we were just talking about him before we got on the air.
Hey, that's my guy from Ohio. You know what? I will always take somebody on my team who's willing to punch somebody in the face at any moment. So you know what? Come on.
But listen, like we've seen this movie before. Backup point guard, they go to another team that's. Now they're starting.
Yep.
They're not the same. They're not good.
Wait. So, yes, we've seen this movie before, but you know what you haven't seen before is DeAnthony Melton and Eli Okobo starting in the NBA 2 years in a row. Do you even know who those people are?
Nah.
Yeah, those are our point guards.
Come on.
Get Scary Terry ass to Phoenix. Come on, bro.
Come on, Scary.
Hey, yo, when Terry starts, Terry's fire. That's something that we Celtics fans can let you know. When he starts, he brings the energy, but he's got to be in a situation where he feels in control and feels confident. Last year, he took the reins when Kyrie went down, and he was balling for us. That playoff performance, Scary Terry was born.
Yeah.
But then this year we saw this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this year we saw him step into that role, and he even came out at the end of this is Kyrie's team. I understand that I'm the backup point guard, but he struggled to fill that role, so he didn't play as well. So that's another thing with the Suns.
Yeah, because he lost 3 fucking minutes and threw a hissy fit about it.
Yeah, and he threw a hissy fit about it because he wasn't in that same, the same situation. When we had a guy like Jaylen Brown took a step back and he accepted that role. Gordon Hayward was cool with coming off the bench. Terry Rozier towards the season kind of fizzled out. So if the Suns do offer him a decent contract, how much are they willing to pay him? And at the same time, are you going to get Terry that's going to come in and confidently play, and you're going to get that Terry Rozier that Boston fell in love with, that Phoenix will absolutely love, or are you going to get that Terry Rozier that struggled and kind of never really found his way in 2019?
You're going to get that one that struggled, that never going to find his way, because that's who he really is.
He's better than what we got.
That's true. As long as you guys don't have to pay.
How can you not do your role? And that was your role.
Yeah.
How can you not be the backup and you was a backup?
And you're backup for Kyrie Irving, like
Yeah,
a top 3-point guard in the NBA.
Exactly.
Like,
It's not like he's backing up someone like Jamal Murray, who's not necessarily top 10, but he's not bad. He's on the up and coming.
you're not behind Darren
He's
Collison
behind
in
someone who's-
Indiana.
Yeah, exactly. He's not behind a Darren Collison, who again isn't a bad player, but isn't someone you wouldn't want to be behind. You're behind Kyrie Irving.
And it's depressing. That's the thing. You sit behind him, it's depressing. You're scared. You're like, I'm never going to play. And then when you finally get to play, you're nervous and you're not yourself because of all the anxiety from sitting behind such a much better point guard at this point in your career.
Man, once they give you a nickname, you always think you're the man, and that's what
Scary Terry.
They give you a nickname.
I got a
it's
shirt.
My team. How y'all gonna give it back?
I got a shirt in my room, Scary Terry, with the scream mask on it and
scream mask,
everything.
yeah.
The Eric Bledsoe. I mean, we were eating that up in Boston. So it really depends. I've always said, and Phoenix has showed interest in Terry Rozier. Last offseason, you guys tried to trade for him. You know,
Exactly.
the Suns are in a good position because Ayton did have a good rookie year. Devin Booker is right there.
Yep.
Awesome scorer. Can Josh Jackson take that next step? You know, I don't know if you guys are going to bring back Jamal Crawford.
Josh Jackson can't even get in VIP and roll it out. He's supposed to take the next step in Phoenix.
Big facts.
But
Big
you know
facts.
what? Outside of Josh Jackson, I think we actually have a lot more potential. Like Mikal Bridges
Yep,
really
you guys
showed
do
out
have
last year.
Bridges.
So he's that great
Ball.
3
I
and D
like
that we
Bridges
thought we
a
was gonna get from him. And I'd much rather like Kelly Oubre. If we bring him back, he balled out.
He
when
did
was
ball
right.
out. That's who I forgot you guys had Kelly Oubre.
Kelly
That's a
Oubre
solid
balled
pick.
out before he went out for the
been
season.
a baller. I've
Yep.
been
So-
Kyle
so-
Oubre.
So yes, Hill, I see you over there making faces. But best believe if we bring back Oubre, we got Mikal Bridges. Look,
That's what I'm talking about.
something gonna shake.
Terry and Kelly would be a nice Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre. They both have that edge about them.
Yeah.
That'd be a mean
Exactly.
backcourt. Very mean backcourt.
Scrappy.
I tell you what, at least they ain't protesting outside of the stadium in Phoenix.
Yeah, there's a ton of Lakers fans that showed up.
Yeah, it is what it is.
No, real
You
Lakers
wild down.
fans. Real Lakers fans weren't there.
Exactly. Real Lakers fans got to work.
When Tyronn Lue signing his contract?
That's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Or was it
That's
Money?
why-
Was it Money? Is he signing?
And this is exactly why we need to trade the 4th pick, because we ain't getting no free agents.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not happening.
Yeah, free agents ain't coming. Ain't nobody coming to this. Nah. Mm-mm.
All right, so now we're going to move on. We're going to talk a little bit about the NBA conference finals right now. We got Blazers, Warriors. We got Raptors and Bucks tipping off tonight. It was a crazy, like this playoff run has been some of the best games. I mean, we had, 3 Game 7s?
Yeah. It's been a great.
Yes.
It's been a really good
Yes.
playoffs. Really
Yeah.
fun playoff.
It's
Brown.
been awesome. So right now
Awesome.
we have East, the Bucks and the Raptors are tipping off tonight. We were talking a little bit before the show. Justin, I want to let you finish what you were talking about before we kind of cut things off, and then I want to hear from these fellas. So Kawhi Leonard, can he really keep Giannis contained? Like, it seems like the game 1 against the Celtics, Brad Stevens kind of had a script. Giannis was he every time he wanted to drive the lane, there was someone there ready to block him. But then game 2, Budenhauser changed shit up, and Giannis had open lanes. And I mean, when you have guys like Middleton and Bledsoe, yeah, that's it, exactly. And when you have guys like Bledsoe and Middleton who can hit those shots, and now they're getting Malcolm Brogdon back, as well as Nikola Mirotic is coming back to his own. Like,
Right
when you
on
get
time.
shooters around Giannis, this team is scary, and they're deep. They have a lot of depth. So, Justin, what were you saying about Kawhi against Giannis? And then I want to hear what these guys have to say.
I mean, Kawhi versus Giannis, it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen so far, because if there's one player in the NBA who can, and there's no one is stopping Giannis. Let's say that right now.
Containing.
No one is stopping Giannis. But if there's anybody who's going to slow him down enough to win, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard. In my opinion, Kawhi is still the best perimeter defender in the league. He's still a top 5 defender overall. He can do pretty much anything you want on the defensive end. He can guard him in the low post. He's strong enough to guard him. He's long enough to guard him. But it's also Giannis. No one is stopping that man. He can slow him down. And obviously, if I'm
his point, did you see his points in that game 5 against the Celtics? It was like I think he dropped like 34 and like 26 with them from
nuts.
the paint.
It was nuts, yeah.
Just all in the paint.
All in the paint. He's so powerful. So
but if I'm Nick Nurse, sorry to cut you off, but
no, it's good.
If I'm Nick Nurse, Kawhi is definitely my main defender on Giannis for most of the game, and then the thing is though, you want to throw different looks at him. So I'm probably gonna throw Danny Green. Danny Green might not be big enough or strong enough to defend him, but he's smart enough to do it. And you probably throw Serge or Marc Gasol if he gets.
I think Serge is a guy that could help Kawhi.
I personally keep Marc Gasol away from Giannis because I think
Giannis will eat him up
every single time, unless it's a very, very, very low post situation. And it happens to be a switch, I'll put you on Marc Gasol. But for the most part, I think
he's too slow. He's way too slow for Giannis. Giannis spins, and he's already 15 feet closer to the basket. Fellas, what do you got to think about all this?
Me personally, I would put I wouldn't waste Kawhi's energy trying to guard Giannis because Giannis, like you all said, is going to get his regardless. Mm-hmm. He is a freak. So if you cannot stop the freak, why not put your best defender on their second best scorer and really limit him? Because the second best scorer, Middleton right now is the second best scorer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He can be stopped by Kawhi.
Facts.
And if it's just Greek Freak on his own or Giannis on his own, now, you got to rely on those other guys. Malcolm Brogdon's coming back, but they're not in the swing of things. So it's like, I say put Kawhi on your second best defender. To me, if I was coaching, that would be my strategy because I've been a hater all year. I've been an open hater on Giannis, but he has proved me wrong every step of the way. I can't hate on this guy no more. He is a problem. Like you said, made adjustments. You're not going to stop him from getting to the rack. And if he's feeling lucky, he might just be hitting a shot too. And then it's over for you.
Oh, as soon as Giannis gets his jumper, he's literally unguardable at that point. Like we saw it in Game 5, he was stepping up to the 3-point line with confidence. And as soon as that happens, it is over. I think we're looking at the most dominant player in the paint since Shaquille O'Neal. Call me crazy.
No, you're not crazy.
You're not crazy. No, you're not crazy at all.
You're not crazy.
Except Giannis can also take the ball and run down the court in 4 steps and beat your guards down there.
Fast though, he can run past wing players.
I know. He can run past guards.
Yeah.
So let me jump in here really quickly. One thing, Kawhi is not going to be my main defender on Giannis off the simple fact of you have to worry about foul trouble too, because Giannis is getting to the bucket regardless of who's on him. He may not make it all the time, but he's going to get those foul calls too. So I don't want to put Kawhi on Giannis where he has to expel that energy on the defensive side. I still need him to give me a bucket, and it's a possibility that I'm going to get him in foul trouble. So what you need to do is you need to take your players. You also, we've seen Siakam out here. So
we just had a comment that said Siakam against Giannis.
You really need to utilize him against Giannis because he has the length, and the help defense needs to be perfect. Yes. The help defense has to be perfect, and you put Kawhi on Middleton, you put him on Bledsoe to eliminate those other scorers, and you just really got to hope. You really got to hope that Giannis just doesn't go off.
Now, what are our across the board, everyone's predictions? I personally think this series is going to go the length. I think we're going to see a 7-game Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's going to come down to how can the Raptors stop the Bucks. I think that's really what it's going to be because the Bucks are on an absolute tear right now. They won the most games this year. They were the #1 team coming into the playoffs. Everyone was like, can they get it done? They got beat by Boston last year. They come out against the Detroit Pistons. They manhandled them. Game 1 against the Celtics, completely different story. And then they just completely took it to Boston, who's not a pushover team, despite all the issues we've had all year long. And now we're looking at the Raptors against this team in Toronto that we've seen a lot of up and downs. So for me personally, I'm going to go, and I want to hear everyone else takes, I'm going to go the length. And I think that it's going to come down to how can the Raptors and Nick Nurse contain Giannis Antetokounmpo, because once his game's flowing, Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, everyone's going to start hitting. Even Brook Lopez is jacking him up from the 3-point. And once those guys are doing it,
Splash Mountain,
baby. Splash Mountain, baby.
The only issue though, this Kawhi offensive tear that he's on, I've never seen Kawhi just score like this.
Different.
Like Game 7 gets the Sixers, he just basically said, "Hey, give me the ball and everybody get out the way." Yeah. Now I don't know if you can sustain that, for 7 games, but that's gonna be tough to deal with. Giannis is the only one that can try to hang with Kawhi on that team. Yeah. Nobody else can check him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody else is checking him. Yeah, we named Siakam. You might, hold him for a little bit.
How many games you got him in here?
Oh, it's going 7.
Yeah.
Going 7.
This is Cannon, and I got him going 7 also.
Bucks go. I got the Bucks.
Yeah, and I got the Bucks. And I want to just make this clear. Cannon is on record. You can go on our social media, 3manweave_. I'm on record before the playoffs even started saying that the Bucks are going to make it to the finals. So, of course, I'm going Bucks in 7.
Man, to me, it all comes down to Kyle Lowry got to decide what kind of hoe he going to be. He going to either be...
Kyle Lowry's a hoe.
He going to either be hookers at the point or he going to be Kim Kardashian. I'm almost certain he going to be hookers at the point, so I'm going the Bucks in 6.
Bucks in 6.
I think it was hype about Kyle Lowry. He hit 10, 6, and 6. Yeah. He played the whole game, 38 minutes, 10, 6, and 6.
So before we hopped on, I looked at Kyle Lowry's numbers against the Bucks.
Yep.
His averages. He averages 6 points.
Come on now.
Hold on, wait. 5% from 3.
What?
No.
Stop it.
23% from the field.
5% from...
That's awful.
Bro, get him out of here. Get Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry is ass, bro. Straight up, I've trashed. We everybody on our end over here. We have a 6-man team, and every single one of them, we think that he is the most overrated player in the league. He just he's an imposter, and people still recognize him as a top point guard. I've never once considered him. I would take Drew Holiday over Kyle Lowry.
I can't believe
everybody.
I'm taking Billy Holiday over.
I'm taking Billy Idol over Kyle Lowry as my point guard.
But
with the salary.
But then and it was crazy because I was watching that Game 7 against the Sixers, and I saw Kyle Lowry with energy playing all over the field. And I don't know if you guys were watching earlier, but I was like, oh, he had a good game. Yeah. And I looked up his stats. He was ass. This is what he continues to do. He's ass.
6. I play hard. I'm not good.
No, that's
what you just said. He playing hard, but nothing.
Plays really hard, but doesn't produce anything.
A few years back, you remember he walked off the court, left his guys hanging. Mm-hmm. And so I've never liked Kyle Lowry as a player because he just can't grab his nuts. He just doesn't have what it takes. He doesn't have that dog in him that you want. And you're a point guard. You're supposed to be the one guy on your team that everybody can depend on when all the chips are down. So
yeah, when them lights come on, boy, he fold.
We got a comment that said they take Mo Williams over Kyle Lowry.
We just had a trade. we got a trade breaking in the NFL. The Chiefs have acquired linebacker Darron Lee from the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm. That's a good pickup.
That is a good pickup for them.
Why can't the Beatles do anything right?
That is a very good pick. Chiefs defense is on the up. As long as Tyreek Hill doesn't get hit with any fines and any suspensions or getting cut, which he should, which he absolutely should. But if whatever happens between him and the league, the Chiefs are going to be an absolute problem next year.
Yeah, definitely.
But the moves that they made on that defense, though, from what they did last year. Yeah.
I also low-key forgot they got Emmanuel Ugba from the Browns.
Yep.
Yeah. Some DM depth. Frank Clark.
What was Frank Clark. They got the Honey Badger.
The Honey Badger,
yeah.
Their secondary's still ass, but the Honey Badger will help hold it down.
But they made some attempts to get better, So look, at the end of the day, you make some attempts to get better. If that defensive front with Frank Clark, Emmanuel Ogba, if they can get pressure, that means your DBs ain't got to cover as long.
Chris Jones still over there.
They should get pressure.
Chris Jones hasn't showed up yet. He's wanting that contract, and they brought Frank Clark in. They paid him, but Chris Jones, he's the man. He's been holding it down for them for a while. So they got to figure out what they're going to do with him. Are they going to try, step up and trade? And pay him, or are they going to trade him for something else? We saw D Ford go to the 49ers for pretty much nothing. Nothing for that.
Came up off of that.
They basically traded him for Frank Clark. It was more of a scheme change. So I guess they want to see how
I think how you're going to do in this scheme.
I think it's a better fit for both of them.
Yeah. Oh, big facts. I agree with that 100%. But, the Jets, they've been wanting to move Darron Lee, and now I don't know what's going on in New York right now. They're that whole organization, they finally make that Darron Lee trade. General manager gets fired. Whew. I don't know what's going on with them Jets.
How does who is Adam Gase to say, yo, I don't want Le'Veon Bell. I didn't want CJ. Like, who is Adam Gase to come in the building and say, oh, I can make these decisions?
He got fired from the Miami Dolphins last I checked.
Exactly.
And apparently they're sold on him in New York, which goes back to what I was saying about New York earlier.
Yeah. New York's all
Jets
questionable.
The
Jets are just going to be the Jets and the new Cleveland Browns.
Well, I mean, they had to take over some of the headlines. You know, Daniel Jones came over there and the Giants. Hold on.
Zion's going to the Knicks. Daniel Jones getting drafted. I don't know. Yeah. The Jets going to make that splash.
Let us get some. Let us get some of this.
So back to the NBA playoffs right now. So we all got the Bucks winning this series, and we got to go in 6 or 7. Pascal really needs to step up for them. He's had a which is understandable. He's a young player, potentially the most improved player this year. He's got to kind of come into his own and settle in, and we all know Kyle Lowry's a hoe. So they need someone outside of Kyle Lowry, because as soon as you get that Pascal or that Danny Green or Serge Ibaka, or if Marc Gasol can get his head out of his ass, like whoever can figure it out, then it's okay, because when Kyle Lowry goes off, that's just extra. That's just the cherry right in the top to help that team get the push. So, I mean, I think we've all given up faith in Kyle Lowry. And, like, Eric Bledsoe's a good – yeah, so is he. Eric Bledsoe's a good defender. So, Eric Bledsoe will not make it easy for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe.
Not at all. That's a pit bull.
Eric, you see how Eric Bledsoe is built? Like,
he's built like a whole linebacker out here.
Yeah, that's about to be easy for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, big facts. He's like 6'2", I don't know, 340 pounds, all muscle, zero body fat on him. Like, the dude is insane. He's a mini LeBron James.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. So he's going to give Kyle Lowry a run for his money, and it's not going to be easy. Kyle Lowry's not going to be playing no bitch-ass Ben Simmons. I don't know if you guys are Ben Simmons fans, but I think he's a big bitch.
I can't defend nobody that can't shoot. Like, don't even attempt to shoot.
Like, me and Ben Simmons got the same 3-point percentage.
If you ever feel useless,
I can shoot better than Ben Simmons.
If you ever feel useless, just know Ben Simmons wears a shooting sleeve.
Yes.
He's like Uncle Rico. Got to keep that elbow warm.
Throw a pigskin a quarter mile. Throw a football right over the mountains.
Clear over the mountains, a quarter mile.
All right, so now let's shift to the West. Do the Blazers even have it? I'm just going to ask. The Blazers even have a chance?
Yes, they have a chance.
Really?
Yes, they have a chance. Once they get back to Portland's been dying for this. Once they get back to Portland, it's going to change. CJ
and Dame are different this year.
Yeah.
They are.
They're
different. And I've been hating on CJ, and I want to publicly tell people he's stepping his game up. They're different.
Yeah, I will say, though, one thing that scared me a little bit about Dame and CJ is as great as Dame has played, he's had a couple scary games.
Last game, it was all CJ.
Yeah, he's had a couple of scary games where
it's okay. The way Dame has put that team on his back,
but Dame is smart
I get
it. Dame is smart to take a back seat, too.
And he's cool with passing the ball if he's not having a good shooting night.
Yeah, what you should be. That's smart. Smart basketball.
I wish Kyrie knew how to do
Warriors,
that.
Though, like they don't have KD. They're going back to their old style. It's all cool. It all sounds fun and games, but can they sustain that? Like they've changed their whole identity since KD has been there.
They have no bench.
And like I said, that's going to hurt. Like eventually, that's going to come. Like
if they make the shots, it won't. If they shoot low percentage, it will hurt. And if they shoot a low percentage, then that's when Portland has a chance. And I do agree with you, Hill, when they go home. Of course, when they travel to Portland, they probably won't shoot as well as they do in Oakland. So, it is what it is. But
with no bench, they keep saying, no bench.
But no team can erase a deficit like the Warriors. So even though they don't have a bench, when Steph and Clay come back in the game,
it's crazy.
You may be down 10, but then they may get back up by 12 in about 6 possessions.
You're absolutely right.
But the thing about Dame and CJ, you can't tell them that they're not better than Steph and
Facts.
Clay. You can't tell them
absolutely.
Facts.
100%. They got the want to. They got the want to.
They just got to back it up.
Yeah,
they're gonna make it to 6. It's gonna be 6.
I think.
No, it's gonna be 6.
I think they definitely make it to 6. I don't think this game. I think they have to win at least 1 or 2. I mean, this team is way too hungry just to go down, just to roll over.
Mm-hmm. And you're at the Warriors are at their weakest point right now, without KD and Boogie. I mean, what the hell is going on with
this
that?
Ain't the Warriors' weakest point ain't really that weak compared to. You know what I mean? So you got to take that into account. They weak is a little bit different.
Their weak is
the Blazers.
Still a top team.
They are the Blazers.
When they're weak, they're the Blazers.
It's not wrong though. That's true though. Like when they're weak, their weakest is the Blazers. You're absolutely right. But I think this Blazers team can still be a team that can come over and take. If the biggest thing is Steph and CJ are going to have to match Clay and Curry no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Especially with KD out, they have to keep up with them point for point.
Yeah, you have to, man. You have to keep up. And if Steph gets on one of those rolls where the basket looks like an ocean to him and is just dropping 3-pointers in.
Like game 1.
Oh, my gosh. And then but it's just like I'm honestly sick of seeing them. I got Golden State winning in 6, but it's just I'm sick of seeing them. I'm sick of Golden State.
I have a question for everyone. Have we forgotten how great Curry was because Durant's been playing in Golden State? Like, I watched that game where he dropped 33 in the second half, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, I've kind of been sleeping on, like, as much as I've been like Steph Curry's a top player, I've kind of been sleeping on because KD's over there now.
Nah, that didn't surprise me at all because their whole offense is still predicated off Steph.
Everything that he can do.
Even you can tell when he missed some games this year and they went through that little slump in the beginning.
Yep.
It was all because no Steph. I mean, their whole offense revolves around Steph. Even with KD there, even though they let him ISO, they let him do whatever he wants to do. That system revolves around Steph,
it's no matter what, it's always still going to be Steph's team. But KD was just that elite player, so KD's the man. So yes, he's technically going to take a step back. But if you look at his numbers, really. Steph's still Stephen.
Yeah. Steph's still Steph, yeah.
And yeah, I've been saying that since they got KD. I mean, you look at the team. KD is. I mean, I still say KD is the best player on that team, but Steph is the most important player.
Yeah, he is. Because you look at what I mean. You could take 100%. KD out, and you still have a 72-win team. But if you take Steph out, and they kind of look like they fall apart. He's the heart and soul of that team. It's not Draymond. It ain't Clay. Well, they can survive with Clay in a shooting night. Draymond Green hasn't been Draymond Green most of this year because he doesn't have to. They just need him to hang down low, play defense, and get a couple boards. But when Steph's out, that's when you start to see the weakness in the Warriors.
Yeah,
because Steph opens it up for everyone else. Because as soon as Steph comes across half court, you got to pick him up. So if you got another shooter like Klay Thompson, and then you throw in KD, the whole court is open.
It's unlocked.
You can get to the rack. You can pull up from 3 anywhere because somebody has to leak out and guard Steph as soon as he crosses.
And even to add on to that, they don't have anyone like Steph is the best playmaker by far. They don't have anyone who's going to be making plays like Steph is. Steph has the best vision. He's the best passer out there. He's the best ball handler on the team.
KD can make a play. A blink of an eye.
KD can make a play, but he's not a playmaker. Clay can make a play, but I'm not trusting Clay to consistently drive and kick like Steph does.
One thing about KD is when them seconds are ticking down, he is going to have ice water in his vein, and he will pull up from anywhere past half court just like Steph. And he doesn't
hold that.
And he doesn't need, to be able to get it off so quick because he's so tall. He can just pull up in anybody's face, and it won't matter. If he gets it off, it's probably going to be cash.
And how do you guard them in transition when you have Steph, Clay, and KD? You're trying to get back on defense, and they could just stop and pop from 30.
That's a nightmare. That's 3 people who can stop and pop from 30.
It's nuts.
You pass the ball 3 times, and you're gonna find somebody who's like a 48% shooter from behind the arc. Like,
it's nuts.
You just have to pass, and you'll find one of them. and so
you got 2 arguably the greatest shooters ever on the same team, and then one of the best
scorers.
One of the best players we've ever seen.
Yeah. Yep.
They literally make Draymond. People be like, "Wow, Draymond's like a great player." But I've always said it: if you put Draymond on any other team in the NBA, he'll still be a good defender. But I remember when Draymond was putting up them triple doubles almost every night.
We haven't seen Wayne Dedmon anywhere else.
Yep, Wayne Dedmon.
Dude, I really think you put Draymond somewhere else, and his stat line is like maybe 12, 13 points. Probably still rebound a little bit, 7, 8 rebounds.
I don't even give him
like
13.
4.
I give him 8 or 9.
I mean, he's still a glorified role player now. It's just
can you imagine Draymond trying to create his own shot?
Oh, what?
Oh, it's nasty work.
Oh,
that's on the high end. That's at the most, too.
Oh, my God.
That's terrible.
That's the generic crossover on 2K.
Yeah.
With the slow. Nah, we good on Draymond ISO.
Yeah, we good on Draymond ISO. So if I have to give a prediction here, if Dame continues to play like Dame and CJ plays like he did in Game 7 and the role players help out, I got the Warriors in 5.
Damn.
I like how you set that up. That was nice. I'm going Warriors in 6.
Yeah, I got Warriors in 6.
What else we got?
6.
Yeah, I like Warriors in 6. I don't think they'll push it to 7, but I don't think they'll get close out to 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Only reason I'm giving it 6 because I feel like Steve Kerr, he's gonna be like, "Hey, KD, just chill for a little bit longer, bro. We need you.
We
need
got
you
you
for the finals."
Chill out. Yeah.
Definitely need them for the finals.
Now, if we're all right and the Warriors and the Bucks match, could the Bucks take them down?
Warriors in 3.
Warriors in 3. Oh my.
You know what? It all depends, because the Bucks have shown us that they can score and they can run.
And they're deep. They're deep.
They're deep. So it's all going to depend if the Warriors are going to be able to defend. The Warriors, they play good team defense as a whole unit, but one-on-one they're not that great defending the wings, especially. So it's all going to depend on. We're going to really see if Kerr is what they say he is. If like you said, if we're right and it's the Bucks versus the Warriors, we're going to see what do you have drawn up to stop Giannis, and if you do stop Giannis, how are you going to stop everybody else? Because like we've been saying, they are deep. They're not a one-trick pony. They are a team, and they can defend and score.
But what I will say is, yes, they are deep, but the Warriors, they have, I won't say the perfect match to throw at Giannis, but they have enough bodies with the length that they can throw at Giannis. So
Looney is a good matchup.
So you could start out, you can throw KD on him for a little bit, you could throw Clay on him for a little bit. If you want to give somebody some rest, you got Iggy, you got Sean Livingston, like you said, you got Looney. So you could put Draymond, and you got all these bodies out there to help too. So they play that team defense. So even if he gets to the lane, you got people crashing down to get that help. So it's just all depending on how they rotate, if they're not leaving any shooters. And it's really about who can they hide Steph on the defensive side. That's where it's really going to be that issue. Because if whoever they put Steph on, if Giannis can find him, if Bledsoe can find him, and he can get some easy shots, then it's going to be a problem. But I mean, it's just too much firepower for me to really see that.
But they're going to really need KD for Milwaukee, though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're going to need KD.
Yeah.
And if they don't have KD, I don't know. I may have to go with Milwaukee.
And here's the thing. At the end of the day, a 3-pointer's worth 3 points and a 2-pointer's worth 2. And the Warriors they would love to outscore the Bucks because the Bucks don't have that consistent range. Mirotic is good. Yeah. Brogdon's good. Bledsoe can hit him. Middleton's good. But I'm going to take Steph, Clay, and KD over those guys any day. Definitely. And so you can let Giannis score all the 2s and drive to the lane all he wants. If I got Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant that could go down and bang a 3, it's going to be a tough matchup. That's when they're going to have to play good perimeter defense. They're going to have to contain. Yeah. And that's what part of me makes me feel like if the Raptors can get out of the Bucks, we might have a better matchup because they have Kawhi, and that's a secret weapon. Because of Kawhi's defense and his perimeter defense, he is probably one of the only guys that would give Kevin Durant a run for his money on the defensive side of the ball. It's tough because the Bucks are still going to be good against the Warriors, and I don't think either series is going to get cut short. I think if the Raptors or the Bucks come out of the East, they're still going to take the Warriors to 6 or 7. But I don't know. I personally, just looking at it, I feel like the Raptors are more inclined to defend the Warriors than the Bucks are, because the Bucks are just going to eat you up in the paint, and the Warriors will just go down and shoot 3s all day.
But what I can say is with the Bucks, if you can get those bigs that can stretch the floor and shoot those 3s. So if you can get Lopez and NBA Andrew Luck to start shooting 3s, I think that'll really help and cause fits, because then you pulling Draymond out the paint. Like you said, you got Kevin Looney. If you got your bigs who can hit 3s, it'll open up the paint for Giannis even more, because now everybody's starting to leak out to cut off those 3-point shooters, and then you can just get Giannis in the paint again, and he can dominate, and then he can start getting some man ones on these smaller players too.
Justin, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think I think the Bucks are probably more suited than the Raptors to take on the Warriors. I really do, because I think
defensively.
Yeah, same.
I think in terms, I get what you mean by the defense coming from the Raptors, but I think just because
it's going to take defense and points.
Exactly, and the Bucks are way longer than the Raptors, in my opinion. Like when you look at their team all the way through, besides Eric Bledsoe, who's just like, whatever.
And they don't have Kyle Lowry.
And they don't have Kyle Lowry,
which is like, I mean,
Like
I think you walk into
like
the finals with Kyle Lowry, you lost already. Good luck.
Yeah.
But they're a super long team, and this team has been together longer too.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like they've been there together. Where this Raptors team, a lot of them have been together, but you guys have got obviously Kawhi hasn't been there for a long time. Danny Green, who's been playing a great role for them, hasn't been there for a long time. Marc Gasol hasn't been there for a long time. But this Bucks team has been playing together, all these guys, for a while. Obviously, they have some added additions like Brooke Lopez. But, this core of Middleton, Bledsoe, Giannis, those guys have been together for a while. They know what they're doing together. So I really think I think the Bucks will probably be better against the Warriors. And especially because you have, obviously, bringing Kawhi's championship pedigree to the finals is
I mean, we saw what happened against the Warriors couple. He doesn't, Zaza doesn't kick his leg out and play that scumbag move, and Kawhi doesn't roll his ankle. That Spurs series was much different.
That's also a different team with the Spurs.
Scumbag.
Big facts.
That
was dirty.
He better be. I don't know where he is, but he better
Pistons.
be on the. He better just. I don't know why you would want him on your team.
He's still in the league?
He's in the Pistons.
I don't know how a guy like that just doesn't get. And it's not the only player he injured. He's purposely injured a bunch of guys already. So I don't know how he's.
Well, they just giving out contracts and
right. But I like the Bucks, but dude, it's tough to beat the Warriors. Like it's really tough to actually say a team is going to go in and beat the Warriors
in 7 games
with a fully healthy Warriors team. It's really hard to say that.
If anyone was going to do it, they're already gone. Houston.
Yeah.
Houston was probably the closest
Houston
one.
trying to be the Warrior. You don't fight fire with fire. I understand that like you say, 3s and 2s, you don't want to match those, you don't want to exchange those. But if Giannis is eating in the paint, slowing his game up, he's also taking them shooters out of rhythm.
Facts.
And it's gonna take them way longer to shoot. So
they're not gonna be able to get those long rebounds and run in transition.
And then you can let your defense set up.
Long shots equal long rebounds. Giannis is at the paint every time.
And like you said, we like boxing. Styles make fights.
Milwaukee matches up better.
Style is ready for the Warriors.
They match up. Milwaukee matches up one-on-one. When you go down each position, Milwaukee matches up a lot better too with the Warriors.
Because you think about it, you put Eric Bledsoe on Steph.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna mess with Steph a little bit.
Absolutely.
Middleton on
Clay.
On Clay.
Middleton's not a fantastic defender, but he's pretty good, and he's super long. He's a super long guy, and then obviously Giannis.
KD on Giannis, and then Draymond with Brooke Lopez.
Yeah, and then
Middleton got the effort, and that's sometimes that's all you
Middleton
want
really
from your defender. He's gonna be bumping,
underrated,
he's gonna be scratching and clawing, and that's what I want in my defender in the finals.
Very underrated. Very underrated. Chris Middleton, I'm glad he made an all-star. This dude gets no recognition, and he's clutch. I remember last year when we played the Celtics, when we didn't have Kyrie and we didn't have Gordon Hayward, Middleton was still balling for them. He was still hitting them shots, and he's a solid defender too. Yeah. Middleton is a baller. Dude's straight dog.
He is.
And they got guys and they're deep. I mean, let's not forget this dude Pat Connaughton, who's playing unreal for Milwaukee right now. Let's be real. This goofy white. I went to middle school with Pat Connaughton. I went to middle school with Pat Connaughton. He grew up in my hometown, and he was a goofy kid. But like, he comes in off the bench and hitting them daggers, and then when Brogdon comes back, I mean, this is a team that when Steph and Clay and KD aren't, and I mean, we don't know when KD's going to get on the court. Now he's out. Game 2 is he going to come back? 100% healthy? Or are they just going to rest him through the Blazers series? I don't know what they're going to do. But like when we're talking about down the road. If you have a healthy KD, when those guys aren't on the court, that's one thing about the Bucks is they're so deep that guys like Pat Connaughton and Mirotic and the dudes that are coming off their bench and playing really well. Those are the times. Exactly, George. I completely forgot about George Hill. George Hill's been playing really well for them too.
He's
those
a good
are the dudes.
presence for that team too.
Yeah, he's been a very good veteran presence. Those are the dudes that when you're playing Quinn Cook and Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston, those are the dudes that are going to start pouring points on for you.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, fellas, this has been fun. We've loved having you guys here. We had a really good time.
I know this has been a great.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it, big time.
I think we got to do this again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We definitely got to schedule another one.
So before we let you guys go, I want you to let our audience know where they can find you, who you guys are, what you guys are about. Give a little shout out for our followers to go and give you guys a follow and check out what you guys are about.
You can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3Man Weave. We on Facebook, 3Man Weave, Instagram, 3Man Weave _. I'm Hill, that's Cannon, that's AJ. We just trying to change the narrative from mainstream media. Three guys. And that's JDF.
We love
it. They set it up.
Yeah. We love it. We love it. All right, so I want you guys to be a part of this. So we do this thing at the end of our show called Final Thoughts. And what we do is we pick something like an interesting question, and then we kind of just all give our take on it. And we always ask stuff so our audience can kind of get to know us. So I want you guys to be a part of this one. So, Justin, what's our question for Final Thoughts today?
All right, so our question from Final Thoughts today is, what was your favorite kids show when you were a kid? So what was your favorite TV show as a kid?
I watched a lot of Rugrats when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Tommy, Chucky. I learned a lot. And it's kind of messed up when now as an adult, I read stuff about how, like, there was, like, the story, like, Angelica. And
all those weird theories.
All those weird things. I don't like any of that. But I used to watch a lot of Rugrats. So I probably would have to say that as, like, a kid, like a child, like, growing up, I watched a lot of Rugrats. Or Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was lit. My guy, Otto.
Otto. And what was that dude, Tito? He was always high.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian dude that worked at the shack.
Facts.
What you guys got?
I'm gonna date myself a little bit. I'm a Animaniacs guy, man.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Cool, man. Animaniacs. Anything Looney Tunes, man. I was stuck on that.
I love that. What else?
I'm gonna deviate a little bit from canon because I rock with anything Looney Tunes too. But also Scooby-Doo. That was was my joint, bro. And then as I got older, I realized everybody in the Mystery Machine was hotboxing. I'm like, oh, like this ain't for kids.
Yo, can I join the game?
Right, Raggy.
No wonder, like, I'm just like, oh, they just got a hungry ass dog all the time. Nah, the dog
they
got
just
contact.
high as shit. They're driving around solving mysteries, high as shit. That dude, what was his name? He used to go up and he was messing around with you. Hey, we're gonna go check the bedroom. Shaggy and Scoop,
Freddie.
you go in the basement.
Freddie?
Freddie?
Yeah, Freddie.
They was in the closet playing High Go Get It. I know how.
Big facts. And what else we got over there?
Oh man, hell, I was a Ninja Turtle fan.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ninja Turtles was the original.
Yeah, that was.
Oh man, then they brought the movie out for the first. Oh
man. Can I ask y'all a question real quick?
What's up?
Did y'all know Uncle Phil played Master Splinter?
What?
Uncle
No.
James Avery was Master Splinter, bro. I just learned that like 2 weeks ago. It blew my mind.
Yo,
it blew my mind.
I knew that.
No, I'm sorry, not Master Splinter, Shredder. I'm sorry, Shredder.
Oh, Shredder.
Shredder.
What?
I could
It's still crazy. It's still crazy. I would never guess that at all.
Holy shit.
Wow.
But yeah, Ninja Turtles, you couldn't go wrong with Ninja Turtles back then.
You can't go wrong with Ninja Turtles. Justin, what you got for us?
Oh, that's a tough one. Even though I asked it, I know what my favorite one was one that wasn't on very long. But I used to love Godzilla when I was a kid. There was a Godzilla animated series. I used to rock.
Yeah,
that.
Really?
I remember that.
I loved that.
I don't know if I ever watched. I remember Godzilla 2000.
Oh, the 1990s.
Oh, that was terrible.
So bad. Oh, dude, I remember the movie. When I saw it when I was a kid, I was like, damn, this movie's dope. And I watched it like 2 or 3 years ago for like the first time ever again, like being an adult, and I was like, damn, this movie's a piece of trash. Holy shit. This is so bad.
When I was a kid, for movies, I was obsessed with Men in Black.
Men in Black was dope.
I was all about Men in Black for the movies when I was a kid. That was my shit.
Can't go wrong. I was watching Men in Black the other day, man.
I was a big Power Rangers kid too.
And they coming out with another one.
What?
They coming out with another one?
With Thor.
Yeah.
My baby Tessa Thompson.
She fine.
Real fine. She fine. All right, Justin, let's play an instrumental and let's get us out of here. Once again, 3-Man Weave. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to get you on again. This is going to be something we hopefully can build and flourish with and get you guys on the show more often and start building, that relationship where people can come and check out what you guys are up to and everyone can come check out what we're up to. So thank you guys for taking the time out and talking NBA with us, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Thank you for having us.
All right, have a good night, fellas.
Shout out to JDF.
Let's go. Let's go.
Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave. We come at you with topics. No, you cannot stop it.